What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today I'm bringing you guys a Battlefield 4 video. So, I recently put up some gameplay on my channel the other day. If you didn't check that out, I will annotate it on screen. But a lot of you guys really enjoyed that, and I promised that I would do another video kind of talking about the gameplay, you know, analyzing it a little bit, and talking about some of the information that I got from the event that I went to in San Francisco a couple of days ago. So, EA actually invited me out to San Francisco for the reveal event of Battlefield 4, and it was a lot of fun, man. I mean, we went out there like a day early, so we had like a whole day to do whatever we wanted. And me and a bunch of other guys, there were a ton of commentators there, way too many that I can possibly list. But we just kind of walked around and had a lot of fun. We saw everything from like the Golden Gate Bridge to, you know, the stereotypical trolley cars. We saw the Muggle version of Azkaban, which is Alcatraz. We saw a bunch of really cool homeless guys that would like sing to us or tell us jokes or things like that. And then we also ate a lot of great food. If you've never been to San Francisco, you definitely have to go for the food. I had some of the best tacos that I've ever had in my life, and I want to go back just for those tacos. They were that good. And yeah, so we did all of that throughout the day. We even went on like a YouTube money shopping trip with a bunch of guys because we needed some clothes for the night. And then we went to the event, and then after the event, they had a really cool after party on like the top of the theater that it was hosted at, where you could see like the San Fran skyline. It was really cool. But anyway, this video is all about the event. Let's talk about Battlefield 4. Let's talk about this gameplay that you're seeing on screen right now. What have we got here? Well, as for the setting for the game, to me, it looks like it's in the very near future, if not current times. I mean, some of the structures and some of the scenes looked a little bit futuristic, but it doesn't look too far off. You know, it's nothing like, you know, say Black Ops 2, where they have a lot of future technology. Nothing like that. It looks either current time or just barely near future, which is pretty cool. It's a cool setting for the game. And it's also got real-life locations, like, you know, this first single-player mission here that we saw is called Fishing in Baku, and it's based in Baku, Azerbaijan. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's a real city, you know, and you can actually see some of the real buildings in this gameplay that are actually real buildings. So that's pretty cool. It's going to be based off of real-life locations, I'm guessing, for most of its setting. Now, it's got like the same epic Battlefield feel. You know, it's gonna be the same basic Battlefield game. In fact, in the little conference thing after they showed us all the gameplay, one of the developers said they're staying true to their heritage. You know, it's gonna be the same basic Battlefield game with the different weapon classes and the health system and the destructible environments and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's all going to be improved upon, you know, like obviously there are going to be new weapons and equipment. There's going to be better graphics, of course, because this is going to be a next-gen console game. There are going to be new features and a bunch of other stuff. So it's still going to be a Battlefield game, which is good. You know, like Gears of War Judgment that came out, a lot of people were really pissed off because they changed a lot of stuff about that game, and a lot of the old Gears players are not happy with it. This next Battlefield game is going to be like all the other Battlefields. You know, it's going to be that same basic game, but it's going to have new and improved features, which is really all you can ask for. Now, what am I talking about here with the new features? Well, I picked up on quite a few things after watching the trailer that I wanted to share with you guys because it's pretty exciting. You know, they're cool new things added to the campaign. Now, one thing is I feel like the character interaction in Battlefield 4 is going to be a lot better than it was in previous Battlefield games. I mean, it wasn't bad in previous Battlefield games, but if you watch some of the cutscenes in this trailer, it's really, I don't know, deep, and you can kind of, you know, feel with the characters. I don't know how to explain it. It seems like there's a lot more emotion there, and it's a lot deeper in the campaign, which is exciting, because at times in the past, some of the Battlefield campaigns could be a little bit bland at times. You know, I hate to say that. I mean, they were always pretty good, but I feel like Battlefield 4 is going to step it up a notch, which is definitely a good thing. Now, another thing I noticed was there's some sort of social integration with the campaign. So if you look up in the top right of the screen at times, there's this little box here with like the little player head and a bunch of other little icons, and that's some sort of social thing. And then if you actually look at the gameplay right here, it says that you set a new record at that point in the campaign with whatever amount of points. So there's some way that they're tracking how well you're doing in the campaign. You know, whether it be time or accuracy or number of headshots, you know, maybe a combination of all of them, you know, maybe some big algorithm, but they're assigning you points, and it allows you to compete with your friends in the campaign mode, which is pretty cool. You know, up to this point, you've only been able to do that in multiplayer, but if you can do it in campaign, that's going to add some value to campaign, and it's going to increase the playability of it, and you can even maybe go back through and replay it to try to beat your friends. So we'll have to wait and see, but I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Another kind of new in-game feature that I saw, or some sort of attachment or something, is going to be the BUIS, or the backup iron sight. I believe it was in Medal of Honor, and it looks like it's making its way into the Battlefield 4 single player and most likely the multiplayer. But if you look in this clip right here, you can see this guy switches from his little sight to his iron sight. So that's pretty cool, and I'm sure we're going to see that in multiplayer. And now there's also a new feature in single player with the targeting system. So as you can see here, with the little flick of his wrist, he gets all of his teammates to lay down suppressive fire that allows him to flank around this guy on the MG and take him out, which is pretty cool. You know, it adds a little bit of strategy to the campaign, and it's a new feature we haven't seen before. Now, is it going to be the same in multiplayer? I highly doubt it, you know, because if you see in this little clip here, he highlights like 12 enemies at once. I don't think you're going to be able to do that in multiplayer, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure it's going to be pretty much the same targeting system as it was in Battlefield 3. Now, one other thing they added to the campaign was there's a little bit of a choice, okay? So it's not quite to the extent of something like Black Ops 2, where you can either choose to kill someone or choose not to kill someone. Like, you know, right here, you have to cut this guy's leg off. But there are choices that let you choose how you want to go about something. Like if we flash back to this little clip right here again, where he has his teammates lay down covering fire, the teammates suggested that you flank around this MG. So what this guy does is he goes and breaks the wall, he comes around up on the scaffolding or whatever, and takes out the MG. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could also flank left. Or if you really wanted to, you probably could have just stood up and shot that guy in the head. So, you know, even though it's not like fully choosable, and you know, your decisions don't really change the way the campaign ends up, there are still choices that allow you to do your objective in different ways, which does keep it fresh. You know, I hate it when games are a solid yellow brick road that you have to follow this one certain line the whole way. It kind of allows you to approach the game how you want to, which is pretty cool. Now, one of the final things I want to point out to you guys is the driving sequence that was towards the end of this gameplay. Although none of us have played this game yet, and we can't really make a judgment call on whether or not the driving is good in Battlefield 3 yet, it actually looked pretty fluid. You know, I thought it looked pretty good. I wanted to point out that Need for Speed actually had an influence on Medal of Honor's driving sequences, so there's a good chance they also had an influence on Battlefield 4's. So, obviously that's a big deal. I mean, Need for Speed is dedicated to driving games. If they had any influence at all on Battlefield 4's driving mechanics, then we're going to be in for some pretty epic driving scenes. So we can definitely look forward to that. But anyway, yeah, those are just some of the main new features that I think we're going to see in Battlefield 4. And that's basically what I picked up on from this trailer, you know, this 17-minute gameplay clip that they've given us so far. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really liking how this is looking. You know, I would love to see some multiplayer gameplay, obviously. I cannot wait to see that. But everything that I've seen so far makes me pretty excited about Battlefield 4. I would say the one thing that I really don't like out of everything that I've seen is the fact that the grenade throwing is the same as in the previous Battlefield. So if you look on screen right here, you can see it's that same old Battlefield motion, and what I don't like about that is the fact that you can't cook your grenades. That's something I've always wanted in Battlefield, but never really got. You know, you can hold them in your hand for as long as you want, but they don't actually cook when you hold them in your hand, when you do like RB plus LG, or I don't remember how you did it, but yeah, so I would love to see cooked grenades in Battlefield 4. That would be my one main wish, but other than that, I think it all looks pretty good. And I'm excited to see more gameplay, and then hopefully see the game at the end of this year. So let me know what you guys think about the game. What are you excited for? What are you not excited for? And thank you guys so much for watching. Got a bunch of great videos coming soon. I'll catch you guys later. Check out one of the other 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them yet. Peace.